You're a summoner? That's the weakest class in the world. The moment Lin Xiao awakened his class, everyone laughed at him. His rival called him trash. No team wanted him. No one believed he could clear a dungeon. Even a normal combat class was considered better than becoming a summoner. But they had no idea. Lin Xiao had awakened a unique S-tier talent. A talent so powerful that nobody else in the world could ever obtain it. Every single day, he gains a brand new S-rank talent. His first summon was just a tiny skeleton. Weak, pathetic, worthless. But after receiving an S-rank talent, it evolved into a terrifying Death Knight. A monster capable of slaughtering entire armies. Then his slime gained the power of endless evolution through devouring. His goblin became a master of legendary weapons. And that was only the beginning. While other people struggled to make one summon stronger, Lin Xiao gave countless S-rank talents to all of his summons. Every day they evolved. Every day they grew stronger. Every day they became more terrifying. Geniuses, prodigies, heroes, none of them could even defeat his weakest summon. Then the abyss descended upon the world. Demon gods appeared. Ancient monsters awakened. Even the gods themselves looked down upon humanity. But when humanity stood on the edge of extinction, one man stepped forward. Behind him stood an army powerful enough to shake heaven and earth. An army of death knights, ancient beasts, divine creatures, and beings powerful enough to rival gods. The world finally realized one terrifying truth. The strongest army was never an army. The strongest kingdom was never a kingdom. It was one summoner, and his summons. This is the story of Lin Xiao, the summoner who turned the weakest class into the strongest existence in the world. Week 1 8-hour video will be uploaded. All novels uploaded here are completed, so you will get a full story without searching or waiting. I have listened to the translated version on web, and there are no major problems with translation. If you want Chinese novel translated, give me the original name of the novel and I will respond to your request as soon as possible. Please make sure your request is on the latest video. If you hear this "u" sound in the novel, it means either question mark or some space is left, like getting materials or experience gain there more but not shown. If after a name is used and after there is silence, it means exclamation marks were used as in shock. I don't know if this will happen in recorded one, but it happened in web version. Chapter 459, 1-Star City. A well-known city in Eastern Peak, with a thriving economy and favorable policies for professionals, attracting many high-level professionals to level up and work here. Lin Xiao entered the city smoothly, and inside, he could already see various concert posters for Lin Xiao. She's really made something of herself, becoming so popular in such a short time. He wasn't sure if this was good or bad. He still believed that Lin Xiao's beautiful singing, which attracted so many people, was entirely due to the sudden emergence of her class. But so much time has passed, and no one has experienced any issues because of Lin Xiao's singing or herself. Perhaps this is a good class. As Lin Xiao thought this, he had already arrived at the concert venue entrance, which was the address Lin Xiao had given him. Within 3 minutes, Lin Xiao saw a familiar figure walking towards him. Xiao Yaju, Lin Xiao's manager. She was a class awakened with decent strength. You actually came out yourself? Lin Xiao was a bit surprised. Hurry and follow me. Xiao Yao is busy right now, don't waste my time. Xiao Yaju's attitude towards Lin Xiao had never been good. At such a busy time, he actually wanted to come and listen to the concert. She didn't know what he was thinking, as he was never seen at other times. Lin Xiao was speechless. He had only met her a few times, so why was she so hostile towards him? Could it be because of Lin Xiao? With Xiao Yaju leading the way, Lin Xiao entered the backstage area smoothly without any obstruction. After all, she was Lin Xiao's manager, so naturally, no one dared to stop them. You stay here for now, Xiao Yao's concert is about to begin, Xiao Yaju said as she led Lin Xiao into a room. Here, Lin Xiao frowned. I came to listen to Lin Xiao's concert. What do you mean by having me stay here? There are no more seats for the concert, so we can only arrange for you to be here. Aren't you siblings? After her concert ends, She can sing for you alone. Isn't that good? With that, Xiao Yaju closed the door and was about to leave. This woman, I didn't even provoke her, and she's all bristled. Lin Xiao didn't engage in a meaningless argument with her. After watching her leave, he also left the room alone. There was no way he would stay there. He wandered around alone for a bit, then asked a staff member nearby about Lin Yao's location and quickly found out which dressing room she was in. Arriving at Lin Yao's dressing room, he saw several men carrying flowers and gifts coming inside. Fans? Lin Xiao raised an eyebrow, not paying much attention. Given Lin Yao's current popularity, it wasn't strange for fans to appear here. However, to be able to come here at this time, they were probably wealthy and influential individuals. Xiao Yao, your singing is truly beautiful. I've attended every one of your concerts. This is my gift to you. After tonight's concert, let's go out for dinner, the man said excitedly, holding flowers and gifts. Thank you for the gift, but dinner is out of the question. I'm busy tonight. Lin Yao didn't reach out, but instead had someone put the gifts aside. Why? I've asked you out many times. This concert was also funded by me, and its scale is several times larger than your previous concerts, decorated according to your preferred style. Isn't this enough to show my sincerity? The man said excitedly. Young Master Xing, thank you for your kindness, but today really isn't possible. Lin Yao refused, shaking her head. Why? Why can't it be? I've done so much for you, and all I want is to invite you to dinner. Why won't you even agree to that? The man, called Young Master Xing, shouted excitedly. Xiao Yaju, who was with Lin Yao, frowned and angrily rebuked. Duanmuxing, mind your attitude. It's already giving you a lot of face to let you see Miss Xiao Yao. Sorry. Duanmuxing also realized his voice was a bit loud and apologized repeatedly, saying, Just dinner. Can't we even have dinner? I have no other requests. She's already rejected you, yet you're still shamelessly clinging on. Is there any point? A sudden voice rang out behind Duanmuxing. The others who came with him were also startled and all looked towards the source of the voice, wanting to see who was so bold as to say such a thing. Lin Xiao walked in, forcefully pushing them aside to get to Lin Yao's side. When Lin Xiao appeared, Xiao Yaju couldn't help but frown. Didn't I tell you to stay in the room? What are you doing here? Brother! Lin Yao happily hugged Lin Xiao's arm, exclaiming, You really came. Sister Yaju said you were too tired and needed to rest. Xiao Yaju was a little flustered and quickly shook her head. No, I didn't. Duanmuxing saw the person he liked making such intimate gestures with an unknown man, and his eyes instantly turned red. You, who are you? His voice was so loud that the entire backstage area could hear it. Who is this guy? Could he be Miss Xiao Yao's boyfriend? No way. I've never heard of her having a boyfriend. Could it be her secret boyfriend? Wow. This news is explosive. The others who came with Duanmuxing were equally surprised to see Lin Yao's intimate actions with the strange man, and they all started to gossip. What? I can't come see my sister? Lin Xiao looked coldly at Duanmuxing. Just now, he felt the other party's murderous intent. Brother! Duanmuxing was startled, and his initial anger dissipated a bit. But seeing Lin Yao hugging his arm, he still felt very displeased and said coldly, You say he's her brother? But what evidence do you have? I say he is, so he is. What are you to demand evidence from me? Lin Xiao retorted impolitely. You! Duanmuxing's suppressed anger was reignited. Seeing that the situation was about to get out of control, Lin Yao quickly spoke up. He really is my brother. I have something to do now, so please leave quickly, or I'll get angry. All right. I'll leave now, please don't be angry. Duanmuxing repeatedly apologized when he saw Lin Yao getting angry, then asked, What about dinner tonight? No, I don't have time. It was Lin Xiao who spoke. You! Duanmuxing glared fiercely at Lin Xiao, a surge of anger welling up in his chest. After taking a few deep breaths, he still left Lin Yao's dressing room. At this moment, Xiao Yaju spoke. You've provoked him. He's the son of the organizer of this concert. That's why I didn't bring you directly to see Xiao Yao. So what? Lin Xiao didn't care. Xiao Yaju's gaze darkened. You think you can be arrogant just because you have some strength. Duanmuxing's family behind him is very powerful. Not someone you can provoke. Someone in his family holds a high position in the imperial capital. So what? Lin Xiao didn't care. You! Xiao Yaju was exasperated. All right. Lin Yao interjected to smooth things over. Brother, why do you suddenly have time to come to my concert? I can never find you normally. Chapter 460. Lin Xiao was arranged in an exclusive VIP seat, as his arrival was impromptu and they hadn't prepared a spot for him initially. He didn't care about the quality of the seat. He just saw that Lin Yao had messaged him, and since she was nearby, he decided to drop by and see her. Just as Xiao Yaju had said, he could listen to Lin Yao sing for him privately at home. This girl is quite popular. Lin Xiao looked around. The seats were all taken. He learned from Xiao Yaju that the concert could accommodate tens of thousands of people, which was a decent size. Clap. The concert lights suddenly dimmed, and the venue immediately erupted in cheers. Xiao Yao! Xiao Yao! Xiao Yao! The sound was overwhelming, leaving even Lin Xiao shocked. The lift slowly rose from the center of the stage, and Lin Yao waved to greet everyone. I'm very happy everyone could come to my concert. Today is Xiao Yao's happiest day, and I've also brought 3 new songs for you all. Thank you for your continuous support. Who? A wave of cheers sounded, but as Lin Yao began to sing, the venue quickly quieted down, leaving only her sweet voice echoing throughout the hall. She sings so much better than before. Lin Xiao, sitting in his exclusive VIP seat, couldn't help but sigh with emotion. Thinking back to before, her singing was practically unlistenable. He glanced over and saw the calamity spirits cheering for Lin Yao on the side, even shouting up towards the stage, though no one could hear them. You guys like listening to songs too? Lin Xiao asked casually. Don't you think it sounds great? Exactly. This is heavenly music. This is the best sound I've ever heard. MHM. Heavenly music. Really? It's not quite that. Lin Xiao ignored them, leaned back in his chair, listened to Lin Yao singing, and enjoyed the concert atmosphere. Listening to music and attending a concert are 2 different experiences. It's easy to get immersed in the atmosphere and join in the cheering and screaming. After 3 songs, Lin Xiao suddenly felt a chill beside him. It wasn't just chilly. It was also a bit hot and then cold again. The different temperature fluctuations made him look at the calamity spirits beside him. He felt gusts of faint wind emanating from the hurricane evil spirit. You guys can use your abilities on your own? Lin Xiao was surprised. Based on his understanding, the role of the calamity spirits was to be launched like cannonballs when chaos used calamity abilities. Under normal circumstances, they were useless. However, that wasn't entirely true. The plague calamity spirit had acted on its own, activating its plague ability after being covered in those dark substances, gradually turning into black plague. The problem was, they didn't have those dark substances on them, so how were their abilities activated? The hurricane evil spirit also noticed it could release a slight breeze and immediately became curious. Yeah, that's weird. I can release wind by myself now. Hey, I can too. See, isn't it cool? Wow, you're so hot. Don't come near me. Why is smoke coming out of your head? And it's green. Ha. So strange. This situation wasn't happening to just one calamity spirit. The others were also experiencing it. Lin Xiao frowned. He asked them to suppress their abilities but found they couldn't, and the power they released was growing stronger. You guys should go back first. Seeing this situation, he could only tell the calamity spirits to leave, or else everyone present would die soon. The song isn't finished yet. Exactly. We'll go back after we finish listening. All of you go back, Lin Xiao repeated. Oh, the calamity spirits reluctantly vanished on the spot. Lin Xiao looked towards Lin Yao in the center of the venue. Although he didn't know the exact situation, he had a faint suspicion. It was because of Lin Yao. Remix Lecter. The calamity spirits must have been affected by her singing. After all, calamity spirits came from the god of calamity, and the god of calamity was one of the 9 evil gods, who were the evil aspects of the chaos god. Although it was just a guess without concrete evidence, seeing the calamity spirits affected by Lin Yao's voice increased this possibility. After all, Lin Xiao possessed the Chaos God seed. Although he had tried to seize it during her class awakening to prevent the Chaos God from resurrecting and possessing her. But now it seemed she still retained the power of the Chaos God. Is it still recovering? Were my previous assumptions wrong? Lin Xiao couldn't help but ponder. The god of fun had once given him 2 solutions, but he chose the other one, which now seemed less successful than anticipated. Suddenly, Lin Xiao saw wisps of airflow emerging from the concert attendees. They gradually increased and converged upon Lin Xiao. Lin Xiao's gaze sharpened. Something is definitely wrong. Is the god seed about to awaken? And is it growing by absorbing power from others? He wanted to stop the concert from continuing, but seeing the heightened emotions of the audience, intervening might not yield good results. It could even backfire. His gaze swept over the audience. The abyssal eye read the information of the people before him, finding they were no different from normal. There was no sign of their essence, energy, or spirit being drained. So what exactly is this airflow? Lin Xiao was puzzled. When he looked at Lin Xiao, no strange changes were apparent on her either. Are you the one who claims to be Miss Xiaoyao's older brother? The voice that sounded behind him interrupted Lin Xiao's thoughts. Turning around, he saw that dozens of people had surrounded him. Lin Xiao glanced at them and roughly understood what was going on. I'm not claiming to be. I am, Lin Xiao said indifferently. You are? Fine, fine. I've never heard of Miss Xiaoyao having an older brother. It looks like we need to teach you a lesson. Get him. The man stepped back, and the rest immediately swung their fists and charged. They were all professionals, nearly level 60, but they didn't use their weapons or skills, as they were at a concert venue and didn't want to attract too much attention. Facing the incoming fists, Lin Xiao dodged with a slight twist of his neck, punched back, then used one hand to brace himself on the chair, sweeping his leg out to kick everyone nearby flying. With just one strike, they were sent sprawling, clutching their injuries and wailing. If you're going to pick a fight with me, can you at least find some formidable opponents? These are just good-for-nothings. What's the point? Lin Xiao leaned back in his chair and spoke calmly. You're asking for death. The leading man revealed his dagger. A faint light illuminated the blade, and he swiftly stabbed toward Lin Xiao. An assassin class, but nothing special. Seeing the opponent use weapons and class skills, Lin Xiao remained unconcerned, easily dodged, and then knocked him down with a single punch. Too weak. Lin Xiao wiped his fist and spoke indifferently. Looking at his hand, he suddenly seemed to realize something. Chapter 461. Brother, how was my singing? Wasn't it great? After leaving the stage, Lin Xiao immediately rushed back to the backstage resting area and saw that Lin Xiao was already there. But as soon as she walked in and saw Lin Xiao's appearance, she couldn't help but scream, "Ah, brother, what happened to your eyes? Did someone hit you?" Lin Xiao, sporting a pair of panda eyes, shook his head. "It's nothing, I fell. Actually, he hit himself, and it hurt like hell." "Huh? You fell? Brother, stop treating me like a 3-year-old. Okay? Did you fall or did someone hit you? Do you think I can't tell the difference?" Lin Xiao carefully touched Lin Xiao's bruised left eye. "Does it hurt a lot? Tell me who hit you like this, and I'll definitely go settle the score with him." "It's fine." Lin Xiao shook his head. At that moment, Xiao Yaju, who was standing beside them, spoke up. "I told you that the other party has a very powerful background and you shouldn't provoke him. Now you know what happens when you suffer the consequences." It was that guy named Duan Muxing. Hearing Sister Yaju say this, she also remembered the unpleasant encounter Lin Xiao had with that person before the concert started. That guy went too far. I'm going to find him and settle the score right now. Lin Xiao was furious. "Forget it. It's just a small injury, no big deal." Lin Xiao told Lin Xiao not to worry about it. "You were bullied. How can you just let it go like that?" Lin Xiao was very angry, then said, "Brother, let's go rest first. Sister Yaju, please take us back." Xiao Yaju took out her phone. "All right. I'll arrange a hotel for him right now." "Why arrange a hotel? Just let brother stay at my place." "Huh? This?" Xiao Yaju was caught completely off guard and quickly said, "Xiao Yao, that's where you live. How can you let another man, your brother, stay there?" What's wrong with letting my brother stay? He rarely gets to visit. Are you going to make him stay in a hotel? Hurry up, Yaju. Lin Xiao urged her quickly. Well. Xiao Yaju glanced at Lin Xiao, then at Lin Xiao, and finally had no choice but to comply. Before leaving, she glared fiercely at Lin Xiao, as if he were her enemy from 10 previous lives. Lin Xiao naturally noticed, but ignored it. Soon, Xiao Yaju drove them to a villa in Yixing City. After stopping the car, Xiao Yaju still didn't forget to remind her. Xiao Yao, let's still arrange for him to go to a hotel. After all, your fame is so great now. If you stay with an unfamiliar man, of course, others don't know he's your brother. But if someone catches wind of this, it could stir up a lot of trouble online. Then going to a hotel would be even more dangerous. At least this is my home. Even if someone finds out, as long as we explain it clearly, there won't be any problem. Lin Xiao pushed the door open and said, If Sister Yaju is so worried, then please guard the front gate tonight and see if there are any paparazzi taking sneak shots nearby, or extreme fans secretly following us. Xiao Yaju froze for a few seconds before realizing what she said. I guard the gate? Xiao Yao, you're going to stay in the same house as an unfamiliar man. Hearing this, Lin Xiao angrily retorted, What unfamiliar man? This is my brother. Don't make it sound like I'm having a secret affair. I lived with my brother all the time before I debuted. After speaking, she ignored Xiao Yaju, took Lin Xiao toward her villa, and left Xiao Yaju alone in the car, bewildered. Looking at the villa in front of him, Lin Xiao couldn't help but sigh with emotion. You've become quite capable, being able to afford such a large villa. The size of this villa was at least 10 times larger than the house they bought in the imperial capital. Lin Xiao blinked and said, It wasn't bought. Someone gave it to me. Given? Yeah, that Duanmuxing guy gave it to me. I was originally staying in a hotel, but he said he was worried about paparazzi, so he specially arranged this place for me. Then aren't you afraid he'll secretly photograph you or frequently come here to bother you? No, I'm not. Why? Because he promised me, and unless I call him, he won't come here to look for me. So, brother, you don't need to worry. Come on, let's hurry inside. Putting a hot egg on your eye should help. Lin Xiao entered the luxurious villa. It was incredibly extravagant and opulent. He felt like his experience had been lacking. Arriving in the living room, Lin Xiao went to the kitchen to boil an egg for Lin Xiao to apply to his eye. A moment later, Lin Xiao came out, holding the egg wrapped in a towel. I'll do it myself. Lin Xiao reached out his hand, but Lin Xiao sat down right next to him and said, Brother, you just sit here. You can leave this little task to your sister. As she spoke, she carefully rubbed the hot egg on Lin Xiao's bruised left eye. Even through the towel, he could feel the scorching heat. Lin Xiao, tell me if it gets too hot. Lin Xiao didn't speak, watching Lin Xiao treat him. The two were very close, closer than typical male and female friends. Lin Xiao could even smell Lin Xiao's natural fragrance. The living room presented such an intimate scene. Lin Xiao didn't say anything, and neither did Lin Xiao, only occasionally hearing Lin Xiao exhale. The atmosphere continued for a long time until Lin Xiao broke the silence. Aren't you sitting a little too close? Someone who didn't know might think you were my girlfriend. Lin Xiao teased. I'm your sister. What's wrong with being close? Besides, what if I did become your girlfriend? We aren't related by blood anyway. Lin Xiao plunked herself down hard on Lin Xiao's thigh, glared at him and said. Lin Xiao was slightly startled. You weren't like this before. Before was before, now is now. Lin Xiao suddenly hugged Lin Xiao, her voice slightly choked with emotion. You supported me and helped me every step of the way. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have achieved what I have today. You gave me all of this. Lin Xiao remained silent. He held her for a moment, then pushed her away. You're tired. Go rest. Lin Xiao stood up displeased, patted her rear, and said, Brother, honestly, you're so rough. I was just kidding with you. I'm going to take a shower first. You can stay in that room. It has a bathroom too. Watching Lin Xiao's departing back, Lin Xiao knew she had changed. She wasn't like this before. It was largely due to the influence of the God Seed. Although he knew this, he didn't have a good solution. He couldn't possibly lock her up. I'll wait and see. Hopefully, I'll gain something from this. At the very least, I can't let myself take that punch for nothing. Lin Xiao muttered to himself, then returned to the room to rest. Lying on the bed, looking at the unfamiliar, luxurious ceiling, he heard the sound of running water nearby. Lin Yao was showering. The room's soundproofing wasn't very good, so he could hear everything clearly. Suddenly, Lin Xiao realized something and said, "She might launch a night attack." Chapter 462. Lin Yao's current condition was something Lin Xiao himself wasn't sure about, but he could confirm that the god seed within her had awakened. However, her behavior was a little different from what he had predicted. The sound of water in the bathroom gradually stopped, followed by the sound of a hairdryer. Lin Xiao glanced at the door. Here she comes. A moment later, the bedroom door opened a crack, and a small head peeked in. After looking around, she carefully pushed the door open and slowly moved her body inside. "Why are you here if you're not sleeping?" Lin Xiao suddenly spoke, startling Lin Yao. She gave an embarrassed smile. "Brother, you're still awake." She quickly came to the bedside and sat on the edge. "We haven't seen each other in so long. I'm too excited to sleep. Can I sleep with you tonight? Just like when we were little?" Without waiting for Lin Xiao's agreement, Lin Yao directly burrowed into the covers. But at this moment, Lin Xiao stopped her. "Brother, what are you doing?" Lin Yao was about to act spoiled but saw Lin Xiao's grim expression and immediately became nervous. Lin Xiao asked with a grim face, "Are you still Lin Yao?" He couldn't stop the awakening of the god seed within Lin Yao. If the two could coexist, he wouldn't care, but if Lin Yao was the one being devoured, he would absolutely not agree. However, Lin Yao's words made him realize something was wrong, because they had never slept together when they were little. The only time was when they received the news of their parents' deaths. She cried all night on the sofa, and he stayed by her side the entire time. Lin Yao was stunned. "Of course it's me, you silly brother. You can't possibly not recognize your own sister, can you? Is that so? I don't recall Lin Yao ever sleeping with me. Do you know how old she was when she was picked up?" Lin Xiao questioned, staring intently at her. "I." Lin Yao's expression stiffened, and she said softly, "It's been so long. How could I remember?" Her pitiful appearance made one feel very sorry for her. If her fans saw her, they would surely attack him en masse. Lin Xiao was not shaken in the slightest. If the other party hadn't shown too much hostility, he would have already made a move. "I'll give you one more chance. Who exactly are you? A chaos god?" Hearing Lin Xiao pinpoint her identity, Lin Yao's eyes widened. She giggled and crawled to the other side of the bed, saying, "Brother, you already knew my identity, yet you acted so serious. You made me so nervous. You scared me to death. Be serious with me." Lin Xiao reprimanded. "So you replaced Lin Yao?" "Replaced? No, I am Lin Yao and Lin Yao is me. There's no such thing as replacement." Lin Xiao glanced at her. "You weren't like this before, at least not with such intimate gestures as you are now. That's because the god seed has awakened, and I've remembered my mission." "Have you forgotten our mission, brother?" Lin Ya said, hugging Lin Xiao's arm. "Mission?" Lin Xiao was stunned. He had never heard of such a thing as a mission. The chaos god merely transformed its god seat, divinity, and authority into a seed, awaiting its revival and rebirth. Where did a mission come from? Seeing that Lin Xiao didn't seem to be faking it, Lin Yao immediately looked sad. "After countless deaths and premature ends, I finally awakened. But you, brother, have forgotten our mission. It's too heartbreaking." Lin Yao cried while holding Lin Xiao's arm. Countless deaths and premature ends. He had heard from the god of joy that a god seed would randomly appear in a child, and that child would suffer misfortune, usually not living to grow up. If his mother hadn't picked up Lin Yao in the abyss back then, she would probably have died in the abyss long ago. "It's okay, brother. It doesn't matter if you've forgotten. I can tell you." Lin Yao looked at Lin Xiao with bright eyes. "The mission is actually very simple, not as difficult as you think, brother. We just need to unite and give birth to a divine child to complete the mission." "Unite and give birth to a divine child?" Lin Xiao's brain overloaded on the spot, and he stood frozen. Lin Yao seemed not to notice Lin Xiao's reaction and continued, I possess the Chaos God's God seat and divinity, and you possess the Chaos God's authority. If you don't understand, you can consider it a special kind of thing that we can't use anyway. Then, as long as we combine, these three will be inherited by our child. I call him a divine child. This way, the Chaos God can be resurrected. At this point, she finally noticed Lin Xiao's stiff expression and asked, "Aren't you here for this? I sensed your presence when you passed by and specially messaged you, and you agreed." Lin Xiao sensed a hammer. Besides, when did I agree? I just happened to pass by to listen to your concert. I had no idea about this. Now he finally understood why Lin Xiao had suddenly messaged him. So let's start quickly. The sooner we have a divine child, the sooner we can complete our mission. Lin Xiao said excitedly, hugging Lin Xiao's arm. Wait a minute. Lin Xiao pulled out his arm and asked, after giving birth to a divine child, I won't have my authority anymore? Yes, otherwise? That's not possible. Lin Xiao shook his head. Why? This is our mission. Lin Xiao didn't understand. Based solely on your words, I have no reason to believe you. I'm your sister, would I lie to you? But you are vastly different from the Lin Xiao I know, which makes it impossible for me to believe your words. Lin Xiao stood up. Seeing him about to leave, Lin Xiao quickly grabbed him. I'm not lying to you. Everything I said is true. Lin Xiao looked back at her. Even if it's true, I won't give birth to a divine child. Why? Lin Xiao, then I ask you, what is the purpose of giving birth to a divine child? To revive the Chaos God. Revive? Why revive him? This is our mission, even if you've forgotten it. Mission? What kind of mission is that? Lin Xiao cursed, then said, if I'm to revive him, why don't I become the Chaos God myself? You become the Chaos God? Lin Xiao was stunned on the spot. Then she shook her head. You can't do it. How can you become the Chaos God? Only our divine child can. He can become the Chaos God. You can't do it. There's nothing I can't do. Lin Xiao looked directly into Lin Yao's eyes. I don't know if you still retain consciousness or a divine soul or anything like that, but I can tell you that your plan can never be realized. There's no room on the ship of the new era for remnants of the old era. If you're dead, then stay dead and behave. Chapter 463. Lin Xiao left Lin Yao's villa and continued his return to the imperial capital, riding on the back of the nine-tailed celestial fox, which had transformed into a giant fox. His mind was in turmoil. The entire situation had exceeded his expectations. He had anticipated all sorts of possibilities, but never this one. It was too explosive. The nine-tailed celestial fox sensed the change in its master's mood and wanted to ask several times, but ultimately chose to remain silent. Feeling the cold wind hitting his face, his chaotic thoughts gradually recovered. Besides the ridiculous and absurd mission of conceiving a divine child with Lin Yao, he also learned a lot of other information from her. The divine seed in Lin Yao was the God seat and divine spark of the Chaos God, while he himself possessed the Chaos God's authority. As for when he acquired the authority, it must have been when he passed the trial of the gods. So, Lin Xiao thought in another direction. Did the temple know about this and specially open the trial of the gods for me? But something seemed off. Because the chaos trial was his spur-of-the-moment decision, and he hadn't told anyone, so the temple naturally couldn't have known. Even if the temple knew, it had never informed him about any mission to conceive a divine child. So what was the temple's objective? Lin Xiao couldn't figure out what the reason was. Calamity Spirit. Following his call, the Calamity Spirit appeared beside Lin Xiao. Wow! This is the first time you've called us out. How rare! Lin Xiao interrupted their back and forth and asked, why are you following me? Huh? Why? The Calamity Spirit was stunned by Lin Xiao's question, and they exchanged glances. Of course, it's because you obtained the power of calamity. We were all born from the evil power of calamity. If we don't follow you, who should we follow? Yeah. Why are you asking this question? Exactly. You're not going to abandon us, are you? No way. Even if we're abandoned, we can run back ourselves. It wouldn't be the first time. Oh, right. Then they started chatting irrelevantly, completely derailing the topic. Right, what do you feel about Lin Xiao? Lin Xiao interrupted their conversation. That miss who sings well? We really like her. Yeah, that miss is his sister. Ah, does this mean we can listen to her sing every day? Wow, that's great. Lin Xiao interrupted their conversation again. Don't talk about anything else. I'm asking about your other feelings toward her. Feelings? Just the feeling of liking her. Are there other feelings? The hurricane evil spirit looked at the other spirits. I don't think so. Yes, there are none. Definitely not. We are the products of the evil god, and she is the good side. How could there be any other feelings? The good side? Lin Xiao immediately caught the keyword and asked, Lin Xiao is the good side? The other aspect of the chaos god. Yes. Did you know? How should I know? How could I know? To prevent them from rambling further, Lin Xiao pressed. To become the chaos god, do the two sides, good and evil, need to merge? Yes. Lin Xiao, is there a way? Yes, there is. You just need to combine. Hearing the word combine, Lin Xiao froze immediately. Combine? What does combine mean? It means kissing, silly. Oh, so just kissing is enough to obtain the good side? Not the kissing you're thinking of, but that kissing. Sai, you're a child, you wouldn't understand even if I told you. You'll know when you grow up. You're the child. We appeared at the same time. How are you older than me? Seeing that the two were about to fight again, the thunderstorm calamity spirit said, Kissing isn't enough. A strange-looking monkey needs to appear. After that strange-looking monkey is killed, you can become the chaos god. Ha! The mist calamity spirit looked bewildered. The thunderstorm calamity spirit continued. You can also choose not to kill the strange-looking monkey. When that strange-looking monkey grows up, he will become the chaos god. Ha! The mist calamity spirit was stunned again, and another question popped up. Why would a strange-looking monkey turn into a person? That's too hard to explain. You just need to know that humans evolved from monkeys. Oh! Lin Xiao naturally overheard the conversation between the calamity spirits. They were discussing a terrifying matter with great innocence. But it also let Lin Xiao know that it wasn't only the divine child who could become the chaos god. Besides this method, is there no other way? Lin Xiao interrupted their chatter. Yes, there is. The hurricane evil spirit quickly said. Just let the miss who sings well give it to you. Give. Lin Xiao was surprised. It's that simple? Yes, as long as she is willing. Will that cause her any harm? Huh? Harm? I don't know about that. If she is willing to give it, it probably won't cause harm, right? Lin Xiao roughly had an idea. At least there was a way to become the chaos god. However, he needed Lin Xiao to hand over the god seat and divine spark, and he didn't know if she would be willing. Because he felt she was more inclined toward conceiving the divine child. This might be the hint left by the chaos god when manifesting as the divine seed, also called the mission. At least I don't need to worry for now. I should focus on meeting the requirements to reach the divine rank first. Lin Xiao planned to complete the temple-level mission after returning, and then rush to level 100. But just as he thought this, another problem occurred to him. Becoming a god requires a divine spark, but the divine spark is currently with Lin Xiao. If she is unwilling, wouldn't he be permanently unable to reach the divine rank? I was too hasty. I left too quickly. I should have done more ideological work on her, telling her not to dwell on conceiving some damned divine child. Forget it. I'll level up to 100 first. The ideological work can be postponed. After figuring everything out, Lin Xiao's mood immediately brightened considerably. Soon, he saw the outline of the imperial capital. He didn't let the nine-tailed celestial fox get any closer, choosing instead to land a little further away. After all, it was the imperial capital city which had considerable defensive power. Entering with such a commotion would attract a lot of trouble. Besides, the distance wasn't far, just a star leap away. Lin Xiao used star leap instead of walking. Just as he was waiting for the skill cooldown time, spatial ripples suddenly appeared before his eyes. Wild dungeon? In this kind of place? Lin Xiao was surprised that he would encounter a wild dungeon in this location. Experience delivered right to my door. I'd be foolish not to take it. Just as he was waiting for the dungeon to form and preparing to enter, a large door appeared. Inside the door stood a burly figure, covered entirely in long black hair. Old Goat. Lin Xiao was taken aback, never expecting to meet him in such a place. Are you looking for me? Come in first. Chapter 464. Lin Xiao was very surprised that Old Goat would take the initiative to seek him out. Had all the equipment he commissioned him to forge been completed? With doubts, Lin Xiao entered Old Goat's dungeon. It was no longer as scorching as before, and the forging furnace that had always been blazing with fire had now extinguished its flames. Lin Xiao was surprised to see the scene in the cave. Looking around, he found that it was completely different from the cave he had entered before. He had changed locations. Did something happen? Lin Xiao asked. As the god of forging, the forging furnace was something Old Goat valued highly. The flames within it almost never went out, but now, yeah. Old Goat nodded straightforwardly. Lin Xiao immediately thought of what had happened in the realm of nothingness dungeon. The gods in the great universe attacked so quickly that they even destroyed your territory? Old Goat's brow twitched. There are some things you do not need to say so bluntly, and it was not them who destroyed my territory. I left voluntarily. Lin Xiao's gaze darkened. He just did not expect those gods to react so quickly. It seemed they had been coveting the temple for a long time. You did not just come to find me to tell me this news, did you? Is there something else? Lin Xiao asked. Old Goat sat on a stool to the side, took out a teapot to pour himself a cup of tea, took a sip and said, "The equipment you asked me to forge is gone." Gone? Lin Xiao was stunned and hurriedly asked, "Was it broken by those invading gods?" "That is not right. Is your forging cave not inside the temple? Do not tell me the enemies have already broken in. If that were really the case, then things would be much more serious. The temple is in critical condition, but it has not reached that point yet." Old Goat shook his head. "You were wrong about one thing. My forging cave is not inside the temple, but in the great universe. It is only through the connection of a special dungeon that you are able to enter." "Oh, so that is how it is." Lin Xiao nodded. "Those guys killed their way to your cave and destroyed everything you had. You are the god of forging, after all, you should have quite a few connections. To think they would dare to." "I do have quite a few connections, but when interests are involved, and when they are crazy enough, that is when you can see people's true hearts." Old Goat said this very calmly, as if everything that had happened was already within his expectations. Lin Xiao was silent for a moment and said, "It is okay. If the equipment is gone, it is gone. As long as you are safe, that is all that matters." He did not feel too bad about the equipment Old Goat had forged anymore. After all, for every 3 dazzling grade talents he obtained, he could randomly get a piece of equipment. Although it was not as good as what was custom-made by Old Goat, it would do for now, so naturally, he would not feel too heartbroken. "Besides telling you about this, there is something else I want to give you." Old Goat took a bottle of white emulsion from his pocket and handed it to Lin Xiao. "What is this?" Lin Xiao took the emulsion and, through the abyssal eye, could not see any information at all. Old Goat explained, "The Highland equipment on you still has one final seal that has not been unlocked. Dilute the divine source liquid with water, and soak the equipment in it to unlock the final seal." "It is that easy?" Lin Xiao looked at the divine source liquid in the bottle in surprise. "I thought I would need quite a few forging stones and modification stones. I have saved up quite a lot." He had not counted the exact amount, but there were almost over 100,000 of them. Old Goat explained, "Originally it would have been necessary, but doing it that way would take a lot of time to unlock the seal, and you would also need to reach level 100. But with the divine source liquid, it is different. You can unlock the seal directly, though there will be a certain amount of risk." Lin Xiao, "Risk?" Old Goat nodded. "After all, it is a forced unlocking of the seal. If your level and strength are insufficient, you might not be able to bear the power of the equipment. However, that risk no longer exists for you. Your growth speed is astonishing, far exceeding my imagination. Even if you have not reached level 100, your body and spirit have already exceeded the mortal realm. Although I do not know how you did it, and I have no intention of probing, Unlocking the seal in advance should not be a big problem for you. He came to find Lin Xiao just to give him the divine source liquid. He had originally intended to tell him the precautions, but now it seemed there was no need. His growth speed was astonishing, so there was absolutely no problem with him directly unlocking the seal of the Hylian equipment. Thank you. Lin Xiao was very excited. The current elemental fusion set was already very powerful. If the final seal of the equipment were unlocked, he dared not imagine how strong it would be. Do not thank me. Just consider it compensation for you. Old Goat waved his hand. Compensation. Lin Xiao knew this compensation already exceeded the value of that equipment. Divine Source Liquid. Just hearing the name, one knew it would not be easy to obtain. Lin Xiao accepted the item and said earnestly, "Once I reach the god level, I will definitely beat all those invading gods to death." Old Goat was stunned, then burst into laughter. Good, good, good. I look forward to that day, and I think it will not be very far off. After explaining the current situation, Old Goat sent Lin Xiao away from the dungeon. Just as Lin Xiao was preparing to go back and unlock the final seal of his equipment, the tree mark on his hand glowed slightly, and then a voice rang out in his mind. It was Green God. It is still contacting me? Is there not a gap that can be entered? Or is there other important information? Lin Xiao thought to himself. After all, Green God had long been gradually controlled by Lotz's constant spirit hypnosis, and after Lotz was killed by him, it had successfully taken over. At the same time, he had given Green God a new suggestion. There was important intelligence to share with his partner. Has the channel been successfully constructed? Lin Xiao asked, pretending to know nothing. No, I have some important news to tell you, Green God said, panting, as if it had just finished a long run. Go ahead. We need to speed up the construction of the channel, otherwise someone else might get there first, and we will have worked in vain. Lin Xiao pretended to be shocked. Has the channel we built been discovered? No. Green God took a deep breath, calmed its breathing, and said earnestly, something big has happened. Someone has discovered the temple gap. What? Lin Xiao pretended to be greatly shocked. Then would our channel not be a waste? Not necessarily. The person who discovered the temple gap was killed by a monster that suddenly appeared from the temple. However, before they were killed, they sent the news out. It will not be long before many people pay attention to this place. Killed by a monster? And it came out of the temple? Lin Xiao was puzzled. Could it be that those gods were not taken care of by the fire god and the others? It was someone else who killed them. May I ask what kind of monster killed them? It must be very powerful. There is a giant dragon, a strange man full of evil energy, and most terrifying of all, a monster proficient in spatial abilities. Hearing Green God's description, Lin Xiao was stunned on the spot. Although the description was very rough, he immediately thought of the 3 abyss bosses in the realm of nothingness dungeon. But how could it be them? Chapter 465. Lin Xiao was stunned. This wasn't an act. The news was too shocking. The Green God wouldn't lie to him. If so, what he said must be true. Gannis, Aozi, and Baal eliminated the god who discovered the flaw in the temple. Being able to eliminate a god in the great universe proves their strength far surpasses that of an ordinary abyss boss. But the problem is, he successfully killed them in the end. They can kill gods, I can kill them, so can I kill gods? A ridiculous chain of logic formed in Lin Xiao's mind, and he felt it was increasingly absurd. He knew how powerful gods were. His current strength was nowhere near enough to kill one. But why? At this moment, he remembered sending the Calamity Spirit to scout ahead. First, they reported nothing, and then they said Gannis and the others came in from outside. Does that mean they had just finished eliminating the god who discovered the flaw in the temple? They must have been extremely weak at that time, which allowed him to successfully deal with them. Lin Xiao could only assume this, feeling it was the most reasonable explanation. Then what about the god of fire that the Calamity Spirit saw? Lin Xiao was confused. He glanced at the mark on his hand, feeling as if he could see the green god on the other side being hunted down, barely managing to escape. Judging by your tone, were you also being hunted by those monsters? Lin Xiao asked tentatively. No. The green god shook his head, saying with lingering fear, We discovered them and observed from the shadows. Then the gods of the temple arrived, and we almost didn't make it back. So that's what happened. Lin Xiao generally understood the sequence of events. I understand speeding up the breakthrough, but won't this attract the attention of the temple or other gods? Lin Xiao asked. It certainly will, but now that a flaw has appeared in the temple, their attention won't be focused on such a minor matter. We can seize this opportunity. The green god paused for a moment and continued. The god of curse is likely making a bigger commotion than I am. Even if we are discovered, they will be found first. The god of curse, the deity behind the 3 archdukes of hell in the abyss. He shares a similar goal with the green god now, breaking through the temple passage. They must have a subordinate relationship. Now that the flaw in the temple has been discovered, they are probably anxious to quickly break through the passage and enter early. I understand. What do you need me to do? Lin Xiao asked. You just need to keep the mark active. It would be best if you maintain it constantly. Lin Xiao thought for a moment. I'm afraid that won't work. With the temple flaw discovered and the abyss starting to cause trouble, my strength is not weak, and I will be involved in combat. I might not be able to keep the mark active constantly. The green god fell silent, pondered for a moment and said, How about this? You just need to maintain it for 1 or 2 shurchen, 2 hours, every day. 1 or 2 shurchen, 2 hours? That's manageable. Let's leave it at that for now. I'll start immediately. After speaking, the green god severed the connection with Lin Xiao. Looking at the glowing mark, Lin Xiao simply wrapped it up with a piece of cloth to avoid attracting attention. It's a pity I can't eliminate them, so I can only stall for now. At least I can monitor their movements at any time and even learn some news from the great universe. After finishing up, Lin Xiao entered the imperial capital and used Star Leap in an inconspicuous corner to return to Imperial Capital University. Entering the academy, he could feel the tense atmosphere. On his way back, he could hear passers-by discussing the dungeons. I don't know what's going on, but there are more and more wild dungeons. More wild dungeons. Isn't that a good thing? You can gain a lot of experience and get first clear rewards. It's a good thing, but abnormal events signal trouble. I heard from a friend who is in an abyss group. He said that abyss dungeons are appearing more and more frequently now, and many regular dungeons are gradually turning into abyss dungeons. Is the abyss going to launch a massive invasion? Possibly. Didn't you see the news a few days ago? Manhwa City was hit by a monster siege. Although they were repelled, the losses were still severe. Just then, one person's phone rang. Holy crap! I was pulled into an abyss group, and they immediately assigned me a mission. No way! Even you managed to get in? Listening to their news, Lin Xiao knew the situation was not optimistic. The great universe has many gods watching, and internally there is the abyss watching along with the gods behind them. Lin Xiao quickened his pace and returned to the temple dormitory. Old Master Niu was still lying on his rattan chair, listening to the news broadcasts from various places on the radio. You brat, you still have time to come back? Seeing Lin Xiao appear, Old Master Niu was very surprised. Logically, he should be busy running dungeons right now, as there is a severe shortage of manpower. Shouldn't I have time? Lin Xiao retorted. Dungeons and abyss dungeons are popping up everywhere. I don't know what's happening. I thought a leveling maniac like you wouldn't have time to return. Lin Xiao scratched his head. I'm not a machine. I need rest too. Go rest. Only when you are well rested can you fight better. Grandpa Niu didn't say much more. All right. Lin Xiao entered the temple dormitory. While going up the stairs, he saw peeling paint and cracks appearing on the walls. Is the temple failing? Lin Xiao touched the cracks on the wall and continued upstairs. He didn't go back to his own room first but went to the 4th floor. Calculating the time, Remy should have finished compounding the human demon potion. Arriving at Remy's room, Lin Xiao saw her busy moving around. Ah, you're here. Quick, quick. Come help me out. I've been swamped lately. Remy quickly called Lin Xiao over to help. Hand me that Indian grass. It's on the 2nd shelf of the cabinet on the right. Also, that golden chrysalis. Without waiting for Lin Xiao's agreement, she immediately made him come and help. Soon, the materials were in front of Remy. Remy glanced at them and immediately added them to the potion. Lin Xiao helped on the side until Remy finished compounding the potion. Phew, finally done. I don't know what's going on, but the demand for potions has suddenly increased, leaving me overwhelmed. Remy picked up a small sweet drink nearby and took a sip. Then, pointing to a cabinet beside her, she said, "Oh right, your human demon potion is ready. It's right there." Lin Xiao walked over and found the human demon potion placed in an inconspicuous spot. He picked it up and confirmed it was indeed the human demon potion. "The abyss hasn't been peaceful lately, so more potions are needed," Lin Xiao said. "I know, I was just complaining. I could tell from the state of the temple heart." Remy paused for a moment, then suddenly asked, "Tell me, what would happen if the temple died?" Chapter 466. Hearing Remy's question, Lin Xiao fell silent. He didn't know how to answer. He could sense that Remy had a special connection with the temple. Otherwise, she wouldn't have been asked to provide treatment. No, the temple won't fall so easily. Lin Xiao could only comfort her this way. Remy took out several materials from a pile of sundries on the cabinet and began preparing a potion again. She said, "I know the situation of the temple best, so don't try to comfort me. By the way, where are the rare materials?" Remy changed the subject, no longer discussing the temple's affairs. Lin Xiao took out the materials he had obtained from the dungeon and handed them to her. "These are spatial attribute materials. These are super rare materials. Where did you get them from?" Remy pinpointed the ethereal stone from a pile of rare materials, quickly picked it up, and after several confirmations, determined it was indeed spatial material. "You cleared the realm of nothingness dungeon? I heard there's only one spatial boss there. You must have gone to that dungeon and successfully killed the boss. Otherwise, it would be impossible to obtain this." Remy was well aware of the distribution of materials, but due to the difficulty of the dungeons, she had been unable to acquire them and could only watch helplessly. Now, seeing Lin Xiao take out spatial materials, she immediately concluded that he must have been there. "Yes." Lin Xiao nodded. "I did go there once. These materials also dropped from the boss. I'm handing them over to you now. I think you'll know how to use them better than I do." "Ha ha ha, good. Some of the potions I've been researching required spatial materials, but I couldn't find any. Now I can finally try them out. Go. Don't disturb me." Remy began her research, wanting to send him away. Lin Xiao took the hint and left, preparing to unseal the final layer of the elemental fusion set. Back in his room, he filled a basin with water, then took out the divine origin liquid. Just pour it directly into the water, then soak the equipment in it, and the seal will be broken. This is the crudest method of unsealing I've ever seen. Lin Xiao couldn't help but complain, but since Old Goat said so, it must be correct. He poured the divine origin liquid into the water and waited for it to dissolve. "Wow, what's that smell? It smells so strange." A calamity spirit suddenly appeared. "It's this. It's divine origin liquid. Wow, and it's a concentrated version. There's so much. Where did you get so much divine origin liquid from?" The calamity spirit stared at the divine origin liquid gradually dissolving in the basin and asked curiously. "Lin Xiao, someone gave it to me." "Given? Wow, who's so generous?" Exactly. This stuff is very precious. Who would be so generous as to give you something like this, and a concentrated version at that? If I remember correctly, getting even a single drop is incredible. You actually have so much." Hearing the calamity spirit's words, Lin Xiao couldn't help but frown. The preciousness of the divine origin liquid was even greater than he had imagined. "Do you know how divine origin liquid is made?" Lin Xiao asked. I know. One calamity spirit raised its hand. "Divine origin liquid is the concentrated essence of divine power. You can also understand it as being refined from gods." The hurricane evil spirit eagerly interjected. "Wah! You stole my line again." The heavenly scourge calamity spirit was so angry that it wailed and pounced on the hurricane evil spirit, and they started wrestling. Refined from gods? Lin Xiao was stunned, looking at the small bottle in his hand. He hadn't expected this item to come from such a source. Refining one god can only yield one drop or half a drop of divine origin liquid. The heavenly lightning calamity spirit pushed the two noisy fellows aside and added, "This small bottle of divine origin liquid you have, and it's concentrated, should have been refined from thousands of gods." Thousands of gods? Lin Xiao was instantly frozen in place. Thousands of gods refined into this small bottle of divine liquid? Is old goat really that powerful? But thinking about it, perhaps he didn't kill so many gods by himself. After all, the temple suffered a great war a long time ago, and the materials for the divine origin liquid might have come from that time. But no matter what, this item was far too precious. "But what are you doing with this whole basin? Are you going to drink it? You can't drink this stuff right now. Can you?" The heavenly lightning calamity spirit asked curiously. If he drinks it, his body will explode. To drink it, he'd at least have to throw the divine origin liquid into the ocean to dilute it first. The plague calamity spirit interjected. Lin Xiao took off his equipment. "Why would I drink this? I'm using it to unseal equipment." "Unseal equipment?" The plague calamity spirit was stunned, then rolled her eyes at Lin Xiao. "Then you might as well just drink it. This is such a waste." "Plague is right, you're being too wasteful." "Waste is waste, then." Lin Xiao thought it was ready and alternately placed the 3 pieces of equipment into the divine origin liquid. The moment the equipment touched the water, the divine origin liquid was rapidly absorbed, and Lin Xiao could vaguely feel a strange fluctuation. What kind of equipment is this? It absorbs the divine origin liquid so quickly. The plague calamity spirit was somewhat surprised. She suddenly understood why Lin Xiao was so extravagant as to use divine origin liquid to unseal the equipment. These 3 pieces of equipment were simply not ordinary. As the divine origin liquid was continuously absorbed, the water gradually became clear, and the 3 pieces of jewelry were faintly enveloped in a milky white glow, seemingly digesting something. A moment later, a prompt sounded in Lin Xiao's ear. "Elemental fusion bracelet seal removed. Obtained. Highland bracelet. It's done." Lin Xiao was delighted and quickly picked up the glowing bracelet. Highland bracelet. Quality, mythical. Effect, master fire, wind, ice, and lightning elements. Highland set, 0/3 not activated. Seeing the effect description of the loophole, Lin Xiao was slightly stunned. Element mastery? This effect seemed unimpressive compared to before, but Lin Xiao dared not underestimate it. After all, it was mythical quality equipment. No matter what, it wouldn't be that weak. Lin Xiao put on the equipment first. The moment he put it on, he immediately felt an indescribable power invade his entire body, and his body almost couldn't bear it. Mythical grade equipment. If one doesn't reach the divine grade, they really can't bear it. But fortunately, my physical strength has reached the divine grade, so I can barely support it. Lin Xiao adapted for a moment, feeling the changes in himself. He raised a finger, and a wisp of flame emerged from his fingertip. Then a small whirlwind appeared, followed by bursts of cold air, and then crackling lightning. I can directly manipulate these elements and use their abilities. Lin Xiao was shocked. He had directly mastered the methods to manipulate 4 types of elements. If a mage class knew about this, they would probably be furious enough to curse. Chapter 467. It's already impressive for a mage to master 1 element, but Lin Xiao now directly controls 4, and with no effort at all. Amazing! I feel like I'm half a mage myself. Recalling the elements, Lin Xiao looked at the remaining 2 pieces of equipment that were being unsealed. Elemental fusion earring seal removed. Obtained. Highland earring. Picking up the pendant, its information immediately appeared before Lin Xiao's eyes. Highland earring. Quality, mythical. Effect, master water, earth, dark, light elements. Highland set, 1/3 not activated. 4 more elements. With the bracelet as a precedent, Lin Xiao wasn't too surprised. It was still the mastery of 4 elements. After putting on the equipment, Lin Xiao found that he could easily manipulate these 4 elements, and even fuse various elements together according to his preference, releasing different kinds of magic. Truly impressive, worthy of mythical quality equipment. Lin Xiao turned his gaze to the last piece of equipment in the water. He was very curious which 4 elements the Highland pendant would allow him to master. Half an hour later, the pendant still showed no reaction. If not for seeing the pendant still emitting a milky white glow, he would have suspected the unsealing had failed. Another half-hour passed, and the notification finally sounded in Lin Xiao's ear. Elemental fusion pendant seal removed. Obtained Highland pendant. Finally, it's done. It took much longer than the previous 2 pieces. Lin Xiao fished the pendant out of the water. The water was now incredibly clear, with no trace of the diluted divine origin liquid. Highland pendant. Quality, mythical. Effect, master wood, spirit, space, time elements. Highland set, 2/3 not activated. Wood, spirit? 2 elements I haven't heard of. Lin Xiao was puzzled, but when he saw the latter 2 elements, his expression slightly changed. I can master space and time? Even before the final seal was broken, the pendant already had effects related to space and time. Could store items and reset skill cooldowns. But now that he directly mastered these 2 elements, it was impossible not to be surprised. Putting on the last piece of equipment, Lin Xiao immediately understood the functions of the wood and spirit elements. The former was for healing, the latter for spirit. This corresponded to the equipment's initial powerful healing effect and protective ability. However, what Lin Xiao was most curious about were the last 2 elements. Can it really be done? Lin Xiao looked at the water cup in the distance and tried to use the space element. A wormhole slowly opened. His arm passed through it, reached the other side, and brought the distant water cup over. I can really manipulate the space element. Lin Xiao was excited, then turned his attention to the last element, time. Suddenly, he recalled what the Calamity Spirit had inadvertently mentioned. Time was a taboo, almost no one could master it. And the Chaos God also seemed to have died under the time taboo. Thinking of this, Lin Xiao couldn't help but feel a chill of fear. Just in case. You mentioned earlier that the Chaos God's death was because he touched the time taboo? Lin Xiao asked. Yes. Seems so. He knew it was dangerous, yet he still touched it. One can only say he deserved it. You can't say that either. If he hadn't died, how would we exist? Ah? What you said also makes sense. Stop. Lin Xiao quickly stopped them. Otherwise, he wouldn't know where their conversation would drift off to. Did he die from using time abilities? Or did he use time abilities to do something heaven-defying? Lin Xiao leaned more towards the latter. He felt that as long as he didn't misuse it, he should be fine. After all, he now also controlled the time element and didn't feel like he had provoked anything he shouldn't have. I don't know about that. Don't look at me, I don't know either. Seeing the Calamity Spirits shake their heads, Lin Xiao knew they genuinely didn't know. Forget it, I still shouldn't risk it. I'll try it when I become stronger or reach the God level. Lin Xiao wasn't so foolish as to insist on trying something he knew was dangerous. He'd put it aside for now and slowly try it later when he found the time. It wasn't going anywhere, it was already his. Giving up on experimenting with the time element, Lin Xiao looked at the equipment set effect. Single pieces of equipment were already formidable, so wouldn't the set be even stronger? Highland set. Effect. Summon the spirit god Highland. The effect was very simple, just one, summon Highland. Directly summon Highland? Lin Xiao was surprised. If I remember correctly, Highland started out with the Sacred Hall and eventually died in battle. He had heard this astonishing news from Old Goat. After Highland's death, he survived in a special form. So, by unsealing all the equipment, he could directly summon him? This is too abnormal. Lin Xiao sighed. Directly summoning a figure on par with the Sacred Hall meant he could beat up anyone he wanted. With an excited and anxious heart, Lin Xiao attempted to summon him. In midair, an unusual light flickered continuously, and a special spirit, only the size of Lin Xiao's head, appeared beside Lin Xiao. A thunder ring above its head, a face like a flame, a body like an iceberg, and below it a dark cloud flashing with lightning, while the halo behind it was interwoven with black and white light. Its appearance was very peculiar, as if composed of various elements. Upon being summoned, Highland slowly opened its eyes and looked at the man before him. I didn't expect you to unseal the last remaining seal so quickly. Highland's hollow voice sounded, without much emotion, as if merely stating a fact. It didn't even seem happy about its resurrection. You know me? Lin Xiao was surprised. When you unsealed the second layer, I could already glimpse the outside world through you, but I couldn't communicate with you. So that's how it was. Lin Xiao nodded and asked curiously, do you still possess God-level strength now? This was a rather important question. If he did, it would be like having a God-level bodyguard, and he wouldn't need to worry about anyone he encountered. Hylan shook its head. All my abilities have been bestowed upon you. I cannot fight. I can only serve as your assistant, allowing you to better use elemental power. Ah, greatly disappointed. Lin Xiao hadn't expected such a result. But it didn't matter. Mastering 12 elements was already abnormal enough. Even if Hylan couldn't fight, it was fine. By the way, how did you die? I heard you started out with the Sacred Hall. Is that right? Seeing the person himself here, Lin Xiao became gossipy. After all, since the Sacred Hall was so powerful, Hylan certainly wouldn't be weak. Naturally, he was quite curious about how he died. Hylan nodded. My death was due to the Chaos God.